Call this meeting to order. If everyone could please stand and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Mattson?
Here.
Trustee Scalise?
Here.
Trustee Reiser?
Here.
Trustee Christofferson?
Here.
Trustee Wilson?
Here.
Trustee Galuza is absent. Mayor Balderman?
Here. All right, to start tonight, Board, we have a couple of presentations. We're going to recognize first Dan Martin. Dan, of course, has been an employee here for 20 years, serving as a police chief and then taking over something that we weren't sure what it was going to be. We knew it was important. We knew it was going to be a lot of hard work, the Safe Communities Coalition. And Dan gladly accepted that role. It was at a time when the hospital was first coming in, and we knew how important it was to have a department that would work with the hospital, figuring that's where the majority of Dan's time might be spent. And what he has done with that, with an amazing group of volunteers, is so much more than that. Dan, as part of the Safe Communities Coalition, of course, has the Safe Communities wing where he works with different residents and business owners and organizations for the betterment of our community, search and rescue team, and certainly we're all familiar with CERT, the Community Emergency Response Team. I had the pleasure of being invited to a surprise event for Dan here at the Village Hall the other night, put on by these amazing people that Dan has worked with for so many years. And I'll say tonight what I said then. First, when you talk about volunteer organizations, and I think we all know this no matter what walk of life we're in, when you first initiate something, you've got all kind of people that are enthusiastic and want to be a part of it, and they sign up and they jump in with both feet. And over time, and I mean typically short periods of time, those numbers wane, the enthusiasm wanes, and in many, many cases, this volunteer organization just fades out of existence. I guess he's a little bit like Benjamin Buttons. It has happened in reverse for Dan. It didn't start out small, but unlike any volunteer organization I've ever seen before, it has gone in reverse. It has gotten bigger and bigger every year. And there are some people who have been with Dan from the very beginning of this. 16 years ago, John, what did we say, 16 years ago? Just think about volunteering your time, and a number of people have done 16 or 14 or 12 years of service to this community. It is in large part because they love this town and they want to give something back. But it takes true leadership to keep an organization like this thriving. And Dan has done what great leaders do, and that's lead by example. Dan didn't ask the people that were volunteering to do something he wasn't willing to do himself. There are times where I've said to Dan, especially recently as we've talked about where the organization is heading, you know, why do you have to be here that late? And he said, well, at the end of the night, I help clean up and put things away. And that's leadership. It may not seem like much, but what it says to everybody else is that they're all in it together and that no one is more important than anyone else. And the turnout the other night, the amount of phone calls and letters and personal conversations I've had with people who were concerned about what would happen with Safe Communities upon Dan's departure. And I really wasn't concerned because I knew what Dan was doing all along was creating leaders. Not just volunteers, not just members, creating leaders. And maybe there are people in the organization that couldn't step up to fill one of the three roles that Dan was serving in, but not because they weren't capable, but maybe they had commitments that wouldn't allow that. But this Safe Communities organization will continue to thrive because of the coalition that Dan has built and the example that he has set. So Dan, the testament to you, and it's funny, I said this, I just told Kurt, I said this to somebody, I had to go to an event before this, and unfortunately, I had to say it posthumously about Ruth Colby last year. In some short period of time, months, years, decades, nobody will remember who any of us are. But Dan, the reality is what you've done, your legacy will be that this organization that you took from just an idea will continue to thrive and serve the people of this town. And that is the testament to you. And because of your dedication, there is no doubt in my mind that that will be the case. So at this time, I'd like you to step up. This is a simple award. It's pretty nice, but it's a simple award, Dan, and certainly no matter what we gave you, it would not be enough to express our gratitude. But it's a Distinguished Service Award to you in recognition and appreciation of your 20 years of dedicated service and support to the Village of New Lenox and its residents, presented on behalf of myself, the Board of Trustees, all of our staff, and this entire community. Congratulations. Thank you. Let's get a nice holder here for you too, buddy. We'll put that in there. Now, I could tell you that Dan is short on words, but all of you would know that that's not true. But they're words of wisdom, so please take your time. And I know you really were not looking for this recognition tonight. And when you got the call, I know you weren't thrilled that we were making you come here. But you're still our employee for another week or so, so you have to do what we tell you.
That sounds good. He's right about that. I like recognizing volunteers and others. I just don't like the recognition myself, but I do appreciate the mayor's kind words. They mean a lot to me. I've spoken to some of our trustees over the years and staff, and I know how supportive everyone has been of our Safe Community Coalition, our CERT team, our SAR team. I just appreciate the support over these years. The mayor is the one that brought our safe community idea to fruition. This is going back to 2008. Our first meeting was in 2009 in January, and the rest is history. We have 105 organizations, over 150 people. We have a SAR team that's second to none in the state, 20 really solid members, and we have over 100 CERT volunteers. Again, best team in the state, one of the best in the country. It's something that we as a community can be very proud of, as you mentioned, Mayor. So again, I would just like to say thank you for the support. Thank you for your confidence in me all these years to lead these groups. It was an honor and a privilege. And again, I hope it continues on for many years to come, because I do know the good that it will do for this community and our residents. So with that, I thank you tremendously for this honor.
Absolutely, and I will tell you, ironically, once your wife found out that you were going to be retiring, she applied for the position because she doesn't want you trying to come home and be bossing things around there. It's running just fine. But congratulations, and I do want to say to your wife and your kids as well, because of the hours you put in, the commitment that you've made, they sacrifice. You have sacrificed an awful lot of family time and events, and I'm sure there were places maybe you had to go by yourself, or if you were there with Dan, he was taking phone calls. Please don't think that that goes unnoticed by us. We know that there is nobody that can do what Dan has done if they don't have the love and support of great family behind them. So thank you for all you've done for our community as well. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have a proclamation for the Lincoln Way Wrestling Club 2024-2025 season recognition. And I checked with my assistant. I could not believe that this was right, but from the look of the belts up there, it must be. Lincoln Way Wrestling Club team accomplishments. They crowned 6 individual IKWF state champions. 6 champions, a club record and one of the highest in the totals in the state this season. 43 wrestlers qualified for the IKWF state tournament in Peoria. They took a 3rd place finish as a team. Multiple team podium finishes at major tournaments across Illinois included 1st place at the Midwest Classic, 1st place at the Joe Thole Elite, 3rd place at the Gold Bracket, 1st place state team duels, 1st place in every boy division and girl bantam at regionals, 1st place girls bantam, boys intermediate, boys senior and sectionals, and 2nd place at IKWF state at novice and senior level, many more. They hosted the Ted Harvey tournament, one of the largest local youth tournaments, showcasing over 1,000 athletes from across the Chicagoland area. They have continued a successful partnership with the local Lincoln Way high schools. And some of the hardships that they had overcome, many injuries and illnesses throughout the season, forcing several lineup and training adjustments. And they did face one of the most competitive IKWF state fields in recent memory with record participation. So tonight, we are going to present this proclamation to our coaches, and we also have certificates of achievement for our state champions. So if you'd like to step forward, please. That's fantastic. Wow, that's great. Okay, first, Caden. Great, there you go. Is this, there you go. Cash, oh, don't sit down, guys. Where's Cash? He's not able to make it tonight, okay. Michael? You're welcome. Easton? You're welcome. And Caleb? Guys, come on up front here, please. Coaches? Let's get a photo with these guys. Coaches, come on over. We've got room on the other side. All right.
Else ready?
All right. Guys, have a seat. Coaches, if you want to say a few words, I will just say on behalf, I'm sure, of what the parents have told you personally, we know we've been fortunate to honor a lot of successful athletes from our community here. And we know, number one, it doesn't happen without dedicated coaches that are willing to put in the time to work with these young people. You don't become a champion like that unless you're also an incredible sportsman and taught the values and things that matter most off the mat as well as on the mat. And also, kids, I'm sure you know, you cannot be as successful as you are if you don't work hard and practice, but you have to get there at your age. And so you've got parents and family members that support you, that take a lot of time out of their day to get you there. So this truly is, these may be individual awards, and maybe the wrestling team had a great successful finish in the state, but it's really a team effort beyond that, with the coaching staff, the parents and families really being there to support each and every one of you. So congratulations to everyone that's involved, and then who'd ever like to say a few words and take Cash's certificate as well, please feel free.
Tim kind of stole all the good stuff, but 100%, the families need a little recognition, because it's a lot for the sport of wrestling, and in the community in New Lenox, who has got 2 great high school teams and a couple different clubs nearby, that they need the support of their family and their friends and their teammates. And these parents have sacrificed so much, bringing these guys to 2-hour practices, 8-hour tournaments, and pretty much most of them doing it year-round and competing for us since they were 5, 6 years old. So I just like to thank the New Lenox and the councilman for recognizing these guys, and I'm pretty sure they'll be back here next year with another dual teams title and probably 6 more state championships, because they're all coming back.
Outstanding. Congratulations,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Okay, that's a good way to start a board meeting. Next up is our consent agenda, which consists of 12 items. They are the minutes of the regular meeting for March 24th, 2025. Consideration for approval of an ordinance granting a special use for a final P.U.D. plat, Spring Creek Phases 2 and 3, second read. Consideration for approval of setting a surety for Spring Creek Phases 2 and 3. Ordinance creating a Class D2 liquor license for the Vine, second read. Ordinance rezoning property 18233 Gougar Road, second read. Ordinance granting a special use permit for an agricultural use in the East Single Family Residence District Low Density Estate, 18233 Gougar Road, second read. Approval of purchase Accurate CPR and AED Inc. for the Crossroads Sports Complex. Approval of purchase office furniture Heinrichsen for the Crossroads Sports Complex. Ordinance authorizing release of surplus property owned by the Village of New Lenox, vehicles and equipment, Public Works. Approval of build-out for the street sweeper for Public Works. Resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with Will County for household hazardous waste collection event. Approval of agreements, common special events, golf carts, sanitation station, equipment, entertainment contracts with bands, and there were 13 items, I'm sorry. Surety reduction for Jiffy Lube. Is any member wishing any of those items to be pulled and discussed separately? No? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Mattson, second by trustee Wilson. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye, abstain from A.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Mayor Balderman?
Aye, motion carries. Okay, next up is consideration for approval of request for a waiver of building permit fees for the New Lenox Public Library. This is for the cafe renovation project. A library district submitted a permit application and plans to renovate the cafe area. Cost of renovation is about $400,000, which would equate to a permit fee and plan review of $3,950. Staff has no objections to it. We normally do waive this for other governmental agencies. Is there any questions on that? All right, is there a motion to approve the request for the waiver of permit?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Riser, second by trustee Scalise. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Christopherson,
Aye.
trustee Mattson,
Aye.
trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Riser,
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
And motion carries. Next up, we have consideration for approval and ordinance granting special use for the outdoor patio at 1300 North Cedar Road, Hog Wild. Second read, Robin?
Yes, this was before you at your last meeting for first read. Since that time, we did receive revised plans that propose steel bollards in front to add additional protection for the patio area from the parking lot. All other staff comments have been addressed. We did talk to the property management company about getting the parking lot restriped so that they're in compliance with the minimum number of required parking spaces before the patio opens. So we are presenting this for your consideration tonight.
All right, very good. Any questions for Robin?
There is a walkway still for pedestrians to walk on the pathway?
There will be gates, so they would go through the gated area, through the patio, but they would be able to get from the Hog Wild entrance to the entrances to the other tenants
Don't park
without
there.
having to go into the parking lot.
Okay.
All right, very good. Any other questions? All right, is there a motion to approve the ordinance? So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Mattson, second by trustee Scalise. There's nothing further. A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Riser,
Aye.
trustee Mattson,
Aye.
trustee Scalise,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Christopherson,
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Next up, we have consideration for approval of an ordinance granting special use for a final P.U.D. Plat Lakes Park Phase 1. Second read. Go ahead, Rob.
This was also before you back in March for first read, and since that time, we've been finalizing the landscaping plans and the engineering plans. Some of staff's comments had to do with platting additional segments of roadways so that the whole roadway right-of-way adjacent to lots that would be platted would be included in this phase. So that resulted in 3 additional single-family lots being included in this phase. That's shown in the red. And then in the very northeast corner, there was a very irregularly shaped single-family home that kind of had this leftover area. The revised plat has that as an outlot that would be maintained by the homeowners association. That's what is shown in the green. The landscape plan is in compliance with the code. In the northern landscape or detention area, they have a number of bench and trash receptacle areas adjacent to the 10-foot path that surrounds this large pond. And then we did receive the proposed gazebo details. So at this point, all staff comments have been addressed. The duplex plan, I think we showed at the last meeting, as well as the townhome, how the different color schemes would be spread out throughout the development to avoid monotony. So at this point, staff is requesting approval.
All right, anything for Robin? All right, if not, is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Riser. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Mattson,
Aye.
trustee Riser,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Scalise,
Aye.
trustee Christopherson,
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, board, now for Lakes Park Phase 1, for your considerations, approval of setting a surety, which is for the public improvements for the subdivision, and Will has that set at $5,655,211.74 with an expiration date of April 28th of 2027. Any questions on that? All right, is there a motion to approve the setting of surety?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Wilson. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Christopherson,
Aye.
trustee Scalise,
Aye.
trustee Wilson,
Aye.
trustee Riser,
Aye.
trustee Mattson,
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, next up, we have consideration for approval request for extension of time to submit surety and execute final PUD plat for Spring Creek Phase 1. Robin?
Yes. So earlier on your consent agenda, you approved the final PUD plat for phases 2 and 3, which are to the north of Phase 1. According to our subdivision code, the plat needs to be executed within 120 days of approval, which it was approved in January, so that would be coming up on June 13th. We are continuing to try to work with the adjoining property owner to get the right-of-way that is necessary for the extension of Silver Cross Boulevard. And the IDOT reviews have neared completion, but they're still, IDOT has not yet signed the plat. So the petitioner is here tonight requesting a 90-day extension.
All right, good. Any questions, Rich, or comments? No, very good. Thank you for being here. All right, any questions or comments from the board? All right, very good. Is there a motion to approve the request for the extension?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Riser, second by trustee Scalise. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson.
Aye.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks, Rich.
I'd like to thank the mayor, staff, and
Very good. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, next up is consideration for, well, actually, we got a few great items that deal with the sports complex. The first one is approval of resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with the New Lenox Community Park District for the Crossroads Sports Complex. The Park District has been invaluable with what they have been assisting us with throughout this entire process. Clearly, they have an area of expertise when it comes to some of these items, whether it's field maintenance or whether it is the beer garden that we're opening, concession stands. They have a lot of experience with that. Kurt and Robin and council have worked with the Park District, Greg and his team and their council to come up with an agreement for an intergovernmental agreement for us that works well for everybody. I want to take this time to say, and there are so many people that are involved in this, not only on our side, our team, but the Park District as well. They are not asking for much. And the only thing that they're asking for is to help provide opportunities for the people that they serve in their rec department. So this Park District that we have here in New Lenox, like the other governing bodies that we work with, are solely committed to what's in the best interest of all the people that we serve. We know we've got great parks. We know they run great programs. They don't have to be involved in this. They're incredibly busy as it is. But they are so genuinely excited, knowing that they don't have any particular ownership of this project, but they have just as much pride in what's happening up there as our village team does. And I just want to say thank you to the Park District because they've been phenomenal. So I'm really glad that Kurt and the team were able to get this worked out with the Park District. And so it's before you tonight for your approval. Any questions on it? All right. Is there a motion to approve the resolution that authorizes the intergovernmental agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Mattson, second by trustee Scalise. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, next up, we have consideration of approval of resolution authorizing a sponsorship agreement with Joey's Red Hots for a 5-year deal. They will be the official Chicago-style hot dog at the Crossroads. At the end of these next few items, I'll give the board an update of where we are on all of our sponsorships. But this 5-year sponsorship with Joey's is before you here tonight for your approval. Any questions on that? All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Wilson. If there's nothing further, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we have consideration for approval of a resolution authorizing a sponsorship agreement with Phillips. It is for the Crossroads Sports Complex, but as well as the Kids Work Children's Museum. Phillips was looking at a substantial but somewhat lower donation, but they also had an interest in our Children's Museum, in particular the Mighty Motors exhibit. And so we're looking at some upgrades to that exhibit. So this is a 5-year deal as well, with 80% of the sponsorship going to the Crossroads and 20% of it going to the Mighty Works for the Kids Work Children's Museum over the next 5 years. So we're really appreciative of that and grateful for their support. Any questions on that? Okay, is there a motion to approve that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Riser, second by trustee Mattson. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Mayor Baldwin?
My motion carries. All right, next up is a big one. This is the naming rights for the sports complex. From talking to sports facilities and all their years of being involved in this, we're very, very fortunate. Everyone can see what a beautiful complex we have, but before it's been open, before the first pitch has been thrown, for us to be able to secure all of these sponsorships, but in particular a big name naming rights, a sponsorship as well, is really kind of unheard of, I think, in this industry, with this being new to us here and this being a new complex. This took a lot of work, as you know. Even at the time the packet was put together, we were finalizing some things, doing some negotiating. Chris, thank you for all of that as well. As always, I'll take this opportunity again. As Kurt tells the staff all the time, but Chris, I've been with Chris now for 24 years. There's always a deadline with me, and it's usually like 4 hours ago. So, but Chris never fails to come through. So we appreciate you and your firm and everything you do. So this was a big one. So we are excited to announce the Wintrust Crossroads Sports Complex of New Lenox. There is the logo that you will see that will be on the, with your approval, on the monument sign. It will be on the 355 viewable billboard, static billboard, with a really cool design with that as well. I don't know, we probably don't have that up there, but we'll show that to you. It's being finalized now, as well as on future promotional items and staff shirts and whatnot. So Wintrust obviously has a great name. They like to be involved in successful sports complexes. A big thanks to our friends at Old Plank Trail Bank, who we've had a relationship for quite some time, and they're helping put this together. Relationships matter, and our local people, we're selling the corporate people on why they should be in business with New Lenox, that we do it right. And we do it big and we do it right. And so we're really excited about that. And we are going to be announcing at the next board meeting our opening plans for the community before the first tournament on the 4th of July. So for everyone that's been involved in this, which is just about everybody at some level or another, I want to say thank you, because this is a big one. All right, is there a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the naming rights agreement?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Christopherson. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Mayor Baldwin?
Aye, motion carries. Now, to date, sponsorships that are done and completed. We are at, and some are for 5 years, most are for 5 years, a couple are for 7. The Pepsi and the Kozel Brother ones are 7. And then the Wintrust is the 3. We have $429,500 in sponsorships, almost $500,000 in sponsorships. And over the period of time that they are committed to, that brings in $2,139,500 in sponsorship. And we think we have another, we have 4 others that we're pretty close with that will bring in an additional over that period of time, $326,000. So it will be about $2.5 million in sponsorships.
That's fantastic.
over that period of time. It is really amazing, and we're so confident in the success that we're going to have up there that when it comes time for renewal, we'll see those numbers increase. That's why a lot of them wanted longer deals, because they know what's going to happen. But this takes a lot of work, and this has nothing to do with the countless hours of other meetings that have to happen, getting the place ready to be open. So that's a lot of money that will initially offset costs of operating before the first tournament is played. Of course, we have to hire staff ahead of time. We have to do training. There's purchases that have to be made. But after that first year, with the contracts that this board has approved for tournaments and the success that we think we're going to have financially, we should be able to take these dollars on an annual basis and put them toward the construction of the indoor facility. So we've got a number we've got to kind of work toward, but this is a nice jump start to get us there. So I appreciate everybody's hard work on that, and certainly the board's support of what we're doing. Next up, we have consideration for approval of a resolution approving an amendment to the sale of 3 acres adjacent to the new Lenox Sports Complex. As the board is aware, we have a deal for a hotel, 147-room dual-brand hotel that will be on the far east portion of the Route 6 side of this commercial piece of the sports complex. Because of the size of the hotel and the footprint, Brian, you would know this better than anybody, with the soil that's there, they're going to have to go a little deeper with the post that they're putting in to be able to support structurally this hotel. There's geotech services that are taking place, and so what we're asking to do here tonight is to amend this sale to the amount of $150,000, which will help offset the costs of that. We were saying that the property is pad ready, which it is, but for this type of structure that we all want, it requires additional support to be pad ready for that. So before you tonight is that amendment in the amount of $150,000. Any questions on that? No? Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution for the amendment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Riser, second by trustee Scalise. There's nothing else, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Mayor Balderman?
Aye, motion carries. All right, next up, board, is consideration for approval of a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, MAP. They are the representatives for our police sergeants union. And we had one meeting, and it took a little bit longer to work through some of the things, but that's kind of unheard of. But it's important to me in all the years I've been negotiating contracts on one side of the table or the other, which I hate to say right now goes back 37 years. 1988, I started negotiating contracts on the other side of the table. And I guess I was too good, so they made me administration so I could negotiate for that village. But it's always been my belief that we should try and have our agreements done with staff before they expire. It's a sign of respect that we appreciate what they do. It doesn't always work out that way. It's never because we're late in starting. Sometimes we give notice and we're waiting on the bargaining unit to engage in negotiations. Sometimes there are some matters that we're working through, not in an adversarial way, but difficult matters that take a little longer. But I don't like having employees work without a newly ratified contract. Of course, there's continuing effect. They're never without a contract, but we have such amazing staff in every department, that it makes me feel good that what we don't hear ever at our table is that staff feels that they're not treated fairly. Staff has grievances about the work conditions. It's merely over finances and changes they want to see maybe to policy or something, but it's always friendly. It's always supportive. They know that we are supportive of them, and we know how hard they work for our community. So I'm excited that we were able to get this done very, very quickly, and it's before you tonight for your approval. So any questions on that? All right. Is there a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the bargaining unit agreement?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Mattson. If there's nothing further, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson.
Aye.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. All right, under reports and communications, I would say that at our next board meeting, we will have some exciting announcements about the sports complex. We will have some exciting announcements about the Children's Museum, improvements and changes to the Children's Museum. We're looking forward to getting all of that out there and having the community enjoy all of that. We also have our concerts remain on sale, the 6 concerts, so we would encourage you to go to our website. You can find out how to purchase those tickets online, which is nice. Sales are going very well. We're working on a plan now. We wanted to make sure that our residents had plenty of time to get their tickets, and we're now working on a plan to push that out much further than our borders. It's out there, but we haven't actively pushed it yet, so that's the plan that we're working on next. So, all right, if there's nothing for me tonight, village attorney?
No report, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Village administrator?
I just want to reiterate a few things that you had mentioned. One, to say thanks to Dan. Before I got here, I'd heard about the program, and I thought the trustee had told me from another community was exaggerating. And if anything, he was underplaying it.
Right.
I got here and was amazed at the work that was being done. Just from the special events that we have here without CERT, they wouldn't be able to happen. So I thank Dan for all of his work. I just want to mention, appreciate what the board and the mayor especially have put together with these sports fields. Chris and his staff have done a wonderful job. Our staff I'm very proud of. But when we deal with sports facilities and they build these sites all over the country and they see out of the box the number of turf fields we have and tournaments, before we throw one pitch, we're filled every weekend with tournaments. And that the number of sponsorships that the mayor, one, was instrumental, especially with all of them, but especially with Wintrust this evening, that we're sitting at over $500,000 a year coming in the door. And then we had looked to them to possibly help us run this, but as we were going through the process, the mayor kept saying, well, I think we can do this with the Park District. And as we were going through, I think we still have to prove ourselves, but I feel very comfortable going forward with that as we've gone through the process. They've definitely been our partners from day one.
Absolutely. Great comments. Thank you. All right. Payroll and disbursements, trustee Mattson?
Sir, I make the motion to approve our bi-monthly disbursements in the amount of $7,027,079.95. In addition to the disbursements, approval is needed for payroll in the amount of $499,994.93 paid on April 17, 2025, and that would be in the form of a motion.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, before we get to trustee comments, I know that the official totals have come in on the votes, and I know all you had to do was show up and vote for yourself and you got reelected, but I think that's a testament to the good work that you're all doing. The community's got a lot of confidence and trust in you. And so for the 3 of you that are here tonight and for Amy, so Katie, Brian, and Jim and Amy, We will do a swearing in for you on the May 12th board meeting. So look presentable. Trustee comments, trustee Riser.
Not tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Trustee Mattson.
Loyalty Day Parade, Sunday.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. But you're going to get me in trouble. Not only did I forget that, but I'm also supposed to remember the Bring on Spring, May 4th through the 11th with the Chamber of Commerce. Inviting you to support the 21 participating businesses that you can find on our website and on the Chamber's website. And there are a number of special offers that these businesses are promoting. Certainly, we should be supporting our local businesses every chance we get, but now there's some great deals for you as well. So thanks, Keith, for bailing me out there, pal. I appreciate you. And while you mentioned that, obviously, because the community demanded a roundabout and they got what they asked for, the route obviously has changed and we're going down Joliet Highway for this year's parade. So very good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, trustee Christopherson.
Another big thank you to Dan Martin. Years ago, I went through the CERT class and was able to experience that firsthand. And he just does a phenomenal job, and just the support from the community and the volunteers in that organization is phenomenal. Among many, many other things he's done, you could find him at any community event, always. He was always out and about. So big thank you to him for all his hard work. Also to the Lincoln Way Wrestling Club. We are also experiencing that firsthand with one of our own in that club. We still have a few years to go before we get to the state level, but the culture that's been developed there, the support from the coaches to each other, to the kids, the parents, just an amazing culture, and they clearly are reaping the benefits of that. So.
Absolutely, very good, thank you. Trustee Wilson.
Just want to remind everyone that I know it can be frustrating with the construction on different roads, Laraway and Cedar. If you take a detour through the subdivisions, remember you're in a hurry, but it's still a subdivision speed limit. Remember there's kids out playing.
That's right, and it can be frustrating, but those are residential side streets people need to take care of. Good reminder, thank you. Trustee Scalise.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Well, we have no need for executive session, so if there's nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Mattson. All those in favor signify by a voice vote of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, meeting adjourned.